Hello everyone. Welcome back to Movie Club. Today, I'm going to show you an action-adventure film from 2008. Titled, Journey to the Center of the Earth. Spoilers ahead. Hope you enjoy it and take care. At the beginning of the movie, we see Max, who is chased by a dinosaur. Max is running for his life. Max jumps over a hole in the ground, underneath which, lava flowed. He falls down in lava between the gap of two tectonic plates, screaming the name of Trevor. Professor Trevor wakes up. He was dreaming about his brother, Max. Max is missing for 10 years. Professor Trevor gets ready for his university. After class, he goes to his brother's lab. Then Alan Kitsons comes, who is Trevor's colleague. Max was a volcanologist, and he believed that there are volcanic fissures which can lead to another Earth, located in the center of our existing Earth. Though Max is missing for 10 years, his research is continuing, the lab is running also. Professor Allen tells that no one has interest in that theory. The university is not going to fund the lab anymore. Ultimately, they are shutting down the lab. Trevor is very disappointed and he comes back home. Sitting on the couch, he gets the voice message of his sister-in-law, his brother's wife, Elizabeth. Elizabeth is coming to his home in 10 minutes. Trevor tries to clean up his home in a hurry, but Elizabeth reaches before he can finish cleaning. She came here to keep Shaun, Max's son, for 10 days. Shaun will go to Canada to his mom after 10 days. She also gives Trevor a box, which belonged to Max. Trevor is talking with Shaun, and looks into the box of his late brother. He finds a book there. The title of the book is, Journey to the Center of the Earth. Written by Jules Verne. He goes through the book, and finds some notes written by his brother Max inside the book. The magma temperature of Mongolia, Bolivia and Hawaii on exact same date 10 years ago, is written in that note. Trevor quickly rushes to the lab with Shaun. He checks the current temperature of those sensors in computer, and finds the data matching with his brother's note, which was taken 10 years ago, when his brother went missing. Suddenly, a fourth sensor in Iceland comes to life. Trevor realizes that Max also saw the reading of Iceland 10 years ago, and took off to investigate there. Trevor is now preparing to go to Iceland, because the book, Journey to the Center of the Earth, is set in Iceland. There is a possibility of existence of volcanic tube that went down past the mantle, towards the center of the Earth. Max must have gone to Iceland to look for the volcanic tube. Trevor wants to send Shaun to Canada, but Shaun is persistent to go to Iceland with Trevor. Necessarily, Trevor takes Shaun with him to flight to Iceland. During the flight, Trevor is trying to decipher a notation that Max made in the book, but can't make any sense of the note. Shaun tells Trevor to read the note from top to down. It's a name. The name is Sigurbjørn Stjernson. Shaun searches the Google. He finds that it's a name of a scientist, who is also a volcanologist. Max must have known that scientist. So, Stjernson's Institute becomes their destination. End of the flight, they take a car, and drive right to Stjernson's home. They find Hannah, Stjernson's daughter there. Hannah tells that Professor Stjernson died 3 years ago. Hannah tells them that both her father and Max were Vernians, who believed writings of Jules Verne were actual fact. Hannah doesn't believe those stories at all. Trevor tells that at least they should check the seismic sensor placed by Max in mountain there. They come to know that Hannah is a mountain guide who can lead them to the sensor. Next morning, Hannah takes them to the mountain. Trevor finds the sensor there. He needs to unlock the sensor, which recorded all of the seismic activity that's transpired in the last 10 years. That can tell a lot about Max. Suddenly the weather becomes rough and starts lightning. Hannah and Shaun takes cover inside a cave nearby. Meanwhile, Trevor gets the sensor out of rocks and runs for the cave. But the sensor is attracting the lightning. He had to leave it behind and jumps into the cave. Suddenly, a lightning strikes cave mouth, blasts it, and seals off the cave. They are now trapped inside the cave. They realize that they can't get out in the way they came in. So, they keep moving further inside the cave. They find magnesium, which run in veins all through cave walls, which is extremely flammable. They find a 200 feet deep hole, which could lead them to an old mine shaft. They climb down to the bottom of the hole with ropes. They find an abandoned mine shaft there. 81 workers died there in an accident. So, the mine was shut down 60 years ago. Then Hannah finds the old generator there and starts it. They find the rail track and carts there. They hope that they can get out of the mine through the track. They get on the carts and Hannah starts pushing from behind. As the track becomes sloping, the carts start moving fast. In the middle of the way, they get separated in 3 different tracks. After going a little further, Hannah's track ended. She jumps into Trevor's cart and survives from sure death. Trevor's track also comes to an end. Hannah and Trevor jump out of the cart. Meanwhile, Shaun got a trouble-free track, and he enjoyed his ride. Shaun notices that Trevor's cart struck in cave wall and made a hole. The hole leads to another chamber. They find ruby, emerald, feldspar and diamond in the cave wall. They realize that they are standing inside a volcanic tube. Shaun took some diamond in his backpack. Suddenly, something starts cracking under their feet. Trevor realizes that they are standing on a muscovite, a very thin layer of rock. While Shaun tries to come out of the chamber, a diamond falls from his backpack and breaks down the thin rock layer. They start falling into a very deep hole. After falling for a while, they notice that they are falling for a long time, and the bottom is a long way down. This hole is that volcanic tube, which Jules Verne wrote about. They hit water at the bottom. Hannah starts drowning, as her backpack was too heavy, but Trevor rescues her. Now, all three of them are lying down on rocks, beside the water, looking upwards. They see starlight. Trevor tells that it's just ceiling of cave. That sprinkle of light starts moving. After a while, when the sparkles come closer, they realize that those are birds. Trevor tells that they are Cyanus rhosopteryx, but bioluminescent. That species have been extinct for over 150 million years. They follow the birds and come out of the cave through a tunnel. They find a whole new world there. The center of the earth. A world within the world. Trevor tells that someone must have gone there earlier and got out of there and told Jules Verne about the world, which Jules Verne wrote in his book. They find a tree house there. Trevor and Shaun goes in. Hannah stays outside. Shaun finds the notebook of Max there. The notebook says that there is an underground ocean on the other side of the trees. Meanwhile, Hannah finds the water pot and flashlight of Max. She also finds Max's dead body. With a broken heart, they bury Max. According to Max's notebook, they are now staying inside a giant air pocket, which is surrounded by lava. During periods of intense seismic activity, temperature there could rise to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Max actually got trapped there, and died of intense heat. They have 48 to 72 hours to escape from there. According to Max's notes, there is a geyser-like river, across the ocean, due north, which can be used to return to the surface. They start building a raft. Meanwhile, temperature rises to 105 degrees. Trevor gives Shaun a gift, Max's compass. The interesting thing is, polarity at the center of the earth is reversed. That means north is south and south is north in the compass. They make a sail with some cloths, attach it to the raft, and begin sailing through the ocean. Suddenly, it starts raining, and they fell into a storm. In the middle of the storm, piranha-like carnivorous fishes attack them. They also do not go low in any part. They use some stick as baseball bat, and start smashing the fishes. Meanwhile, some dragon-like fishes come there, and start eating the piranha fishes. They sail to the starboard side, and escape the war zone. Suddenly, the wind speed increases. Hannah loses her line, and cuts her fingers. Shaun tries to hold on the ropes and sail. But, gusty wind blows him away, along with the sail. Trevor could not do anything to save his nephew. In the next scene, Shaun wakes up at the seashore. He is very thirsty. He sees that bird there and follows it into a tunnel. In this side, Trevor and Hannah reach the seashore, far from Shaun. The wind blew Shaun to the north, and must be going towards the river. The bird shows Shaun a waterfall. Shaun drinks water, and follows the bird again, towards north. Meanwhile, Hannah and Trevor are taking a break. Temperature is 115 degrees now. Suddenly, large carnivorous plants attack them. The tree starts choking Hannah with its creeper. Trevor uproots the tree and saves Hannah. In this side, Shaun comes to the opening of the tunnel. Here, he steps on some magnetic rocks. The whole area is a magnetic field. His compass isn't working. There is a large gap ahead of him, and magnetic rocks are floating. It is the only way out. He starts crossing the floating rocks jumping. At one stage, he loses control and almost falls down. Somehow, he manages to reach the other side. The bird is still with him. Meanwhile, Trevor and Hannah reach the river, which runs into a cave. The geyser is inside the cave, their way out. Trevor leaves Hannah there. He won't leave Shaun behind. Hannah tells that she will wait for them at the river. Shaun comes out of the tunnel. A little further, he sees some dinosaur skeleton there. A dinosaur chases him. He runs for his life, and takes cover in a cave. Trevor reaches the other side of the cave just in time. Trevor breaks the cave wall, and rescues Shaun from that dinosaur. The cave wall was brittle. The dinosaur also breaks through the cave, and starts chasing them. While running, Trevor notices muscovites on the right side. He runs through the thin layer of muscovite. The dinosaur chases him. As the dinosaur weighed too heavy, its weight breaks down the muscovite layer. The dinosaur falls down. Trevor jumps forward, finds an edge, and catches the edge. He is saved. They find a tunnel there. They enter into the tunnel. They find the river inside, which leads to the volcanic tube. The river water is boiling. They need a boat to get to the geyser. Suddenly, Hannah comes to their rescue with a boat, made out of dinosaur skull. Trevor and Shaun jump into the boat. After going a little further, the current becomes strong. The boat gains more speed. The riverbed becomes visible. Soon, they fall into a hole. They stuck in the middle. They notice lava and magma at the bottom. They realize that it is the volcanic tube that can lead them out on the surface. The walls of the tube is wet. That means there is water behind the walls. If they can break the wall, they can bring down the water. Falling water on lava can make it a geyser. They can get out with the thrust of geyser. Trevor notices magnesium running in the veins through the wall. Trevor makes a plan to burn the magnesium with flares, and blast the wall. They have only 3 flares left. The first 2 flares are wasted. Trevor couldn't burn the magnesium, as the wall is too wet. He needs to get further down, where the wall is dry. The lava is rising. Hannah ties Trevor to a rope. Shaun gives Trevor the last flare. Hannah lowers Trevor down. Unfortunately, the wall there is still wet. He can't burn the magnesium. He needs to throw it to the other side of the tube, where the wall is dry. He throws the flare. It lights the magnesium and goes out immediately. They become so hopeless. In a few seconds, the magnesium lights up from inside and starts burning the vein. They pull up Trevor quickly. The walls explode, and tons of water starts falling on the lava. Water starts boiling immediately, makes it a geyser. Tremendous thrust of geyser pushes them through the volcanic tube, towards the surface. They come out through crater of volcano, and start sliding down, destroying a farm. Finally, they reach to the bottom of the mountain, and crash with a farmhouse. They notice that the volcano they came through is actually Mount Vesuvius of Italy. At that moment, the owner of the farm comes to them, and blames them for destroying his farm. Shaun takes a diamond out of his backpack and gives it to the farm owner. Farm owner becomes so happy. Trevor finds a few pounds of diamond in Shaun's backpack, which Shaun collected from the mine earlier. Trevor and Hannah fall love to each other. Later, they get back home. In the next scene, Trevor goes to his brother's lab. Professor Alan comes there too. Trevor tells Alan that he is moving the whole laboratory and expanding it. Alan becomes surprised how Trevor could manage so much money. Trevor tells him that he fell into a small fortune. In fact, those diamonds made Trevor rich. At the last scene of the movie, Hannah and Trevor see off Shaun. Shaun is going to his mom to Canada. Trevor gives Shaun a gift. A book, titled Lost City of Atlantis. The book belonged to Shaun's father, Max. Shaun opens his backpack, and feeds his pet. It's the cyanus bird, which helped him all the way. The bird flies away. Make sure to subscribe, and turn on notification, so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.